Hey everyone, welcome to Cinematic Tendency, and yes, it's me, your boy, it doesn't matter. And today I am gonna bring you the entire filmography of the one, the only, the always controversial Mr. Quentin Tarantino. I believe that Tarantino brings to cinema one of the best combos. And no, I am not talking about a burger and fries like from Five Guys, which is like wicked awesome. Five Guys is like right here. Of course, when you compare it to Big Kahuna Burger is like way over here. Five Guys, Big Kahuna Burger. Five Guys, Big Kahuna Burger. The combo I am talking about, however, is the writing and directing. Yeah, we either get a very good writer or a very good director. But a very good writer and director, I don't think we get that very much nowadays. In my opinion, and perhaps you're gonna agree with me, if you have seen all of Tarantino's movies, then most likely you're gonna agree with me that Tarantino is a very good writer director. You may not like Tarantino, however, you gotta admit that he's a very talented man. For instance, his writing can be quite philosophical. Of course, with his own touch, right? With Tarantino's DNA all over the writing. For instance, there is, I can think right now, some scenes. For instance, let's say the opening scene of Reservoir Dogs when they're having this conversation at the table. I mean, after watching that scene, I'm like, I'm not tipping waiters anymore. Okay, I'm just kidding. But yes. Another example is the opening scene of Inglorious Bastards, right? When Hans Landa is talking with the French farmer. I mean, I am not for anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is wrong. But the way Hans Landa is having that conversation, I'm like, man, this guy. The way I see it, Tarantino's writing feels so real. You have two fictional characters having a fictional conversation, but the conversation is so detailed, is so rich that it feels realistic. For example, in Kill Bill Volume 2, we have Bill telling a story to the bride. It's a story about that little fish. I forgot the name of the fish, but the way he's telling the story, it makes you like your imagination, like you get into the story. You are thinking, you are imagining that little fish. You are imagining everything that Bill is saying. So you are trapped into a fiction story, which I think is pretty cool. And I'm like, who comes up with this stuff, man? And lastly, I love music. I love music in movies, whether the soundtrack or the musical score. And I am not gonna tell you that I do love every single song that Tarantino chooses for his films. No, I would be lying to you. However, I am gonna say that about 90% of the choices, of the musical choices that he chooses for his films, I'm like, dude, I'm in. I do appreciate those songs, brother. Woohoo, 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 woohoo. Well, I don't like you tonight. You can see that Tierney truly loved the mademoiselle. And now the young monsieur and madame, they rung the chapel bell. till I die. Am I wrong? Cause I'm gonna get it on till I die. Get it on till I die. Get it on till I die. Y'all remember me. Y'all remember me. There's a guy for you, girl, and all they can say is he's not your kind. But now I get tired of putting it down, and I never know when I come around. But I'm gonna fight. Don't let them wake up your mind. Don't you know? Ennio Morricone, my goodness. Man, I get the chills. One inch punch. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. Crescendo, crescendo. In number 9, I have the movie Jackie Brown, which came out in 1997. This movie, I got to see it only once. I don't own it. Perhaps I'll buy it. During the pandemic, my theater brought back some old movies. So Jackie Brown was one of them. So I got to see it in theaters, which is always good. It was only myself, and that night it was only myself and one guy in front of me. So yeah, Jackie Brown is a good movie. It has some good moments. It has some moments that are very unpredictable, and it's a good movie, like I said. But to me, it falls short when you compare it to the rest of Tarantino's filmography, and that's why I have it in the last place. In number 8, I have a movie that came out in 2015, and I am talking about The Hateful Eight. I got to see it in theaters, of course, and I want to say The Hateful Eight, it has a very, very cool cinematography and photography. I mean, I like snow, I like the winter, so if you give me a movie with a beautiful photography and then you're gonna show me the landscape with snow, I mean, you pretty much got 50% of me. Interesting story, but I didn't get attached to any of the characters, so I have it in number 8. In number 7, I have Tarantino's most recent movie up to right now, and I am talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which came out in 2019. I own this movie and I got to see it in theaters a few times. I know it came back with an extended version, so I watched that one too. And I liked the idea. It's based on true events, of course, with a huge Tarantino spin. And also, it had controversy. It had a big controversy among Bruce Lee's fandom. I'm a Bruce Lee fan, okay, and so a lot of the fans got offended Even Shannon Lee's, she's Bruce Lee's daughter, she got offended. She was upset about the portrayal of Bruce Lee in the movie. But the way, and that's fine. I mean, she was Bruce Lee's daughter, so it's fine. But the way I see it, Tarantino was doing an homage to Bruce Lee because he's a big Bruce Lee fan. And when you think about it, in the movie, Bruce Lee, he wasn't beat up. It was a draw. In the movie, they said it's a draw. Plus, that character that is kind of sparring, so to speak, with Bruce Lee, that character is fictional. Okay, it was played by Brad Pitt. So the way I see it, I don't see a lot of controversy. I don't see anything wrong with it. And again, it's coming from a big Bruce Lee fan. But it is what it is. Some people got offended, other people didn't. But the way I see it, it was fine. I like the movie. I like the story, and I like the chemistry with Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Even that dog, that was pretty cool. And of course, Margot Robbie. In number six, I have Tarantino's very first movie that came out in 1992, and I am talking about Reservoir Dogs. I've seen that movie before, of course. I haven't seen it in theaters. I mean, it came out way in 1992 before I was a regular moviegoer. But let me tell you, as soon as that movie comes back, if it ever comes back to theaters, I'll be there. This movie has a pretty cool story, all these criminals not going by the name, but going by colors, that little twist in the story, and also that, like I told you earlier in the video, that philosophical touch in their talking in the opening scene. So yeah, I like the movie and I own it. In number five, I have a movie, and I never heard of it. For some reason, I have no idea why. That movie just went under my radar and I was oblivious to it. And I am talking about the movie Death Proof. I have never seen this movie in theaters. Again, I missed it. And actually, I just got to watch it for the first time about 3 weeks ago. Man, I had a very good time with this movie. I don't own it, but definitely I am going to buy it. This movie has an ending that brings you a lot of satisfaction. Also, this needs to be said, that younger Mary Elizabeth Winstead wearing that yellow cheerleading uniform, bro, sign me up. So now we are getting closer, and in number four, I have a movie from 2012, and I am talking about Django Unchained. Man, I don't remember if I watched it in theaters. I want to say yes, but like I said, I don't remember, so maybe I missed it. But anyway, I really like this movie, Django Unchained. It has a very, very cool soundtrack. Moreover, I love the chemistry between Jamie Foxx and Christoph Waltz, and the movie has some very strong or intense moments or situations. And just like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, okay, uh, Django Unchained also gave us that famous Leonardo DiCaprio's meme. So, two memes from two movies, both by Tarantino, starring in those memes Leonardo DiCaprio. I like Django very much, and I recently heard some rumors on the internet, and I hope the rumors are true. And apparently, there are plans about making a crossover with Django and El Zorro. So, hey, I would be up for that. I would watch it. All right, so we are way too close to number one. So now we are in number three. And I gotta tell you, man, it was very difficult for me to choose between number two and number three. So it kind of varies, I guess. It kind of depends on the day. But right now, in number three, I have Inglorious Bastards, which is a movie that came out in 2009. Inglorious Bastards, I got to see it in theaters. Inglorious Bastards, I own that movie. I like it a lot. And Christoph Waltz, he's a great actor. I like him very much. And I like him a lot as Hans Landa. Actually, Hans Landa is my favorite villain in cinema. He's great. Christoph Waltz is great. I really like how he is a very good actor. But what really gets me is like he can act in three languages. Well, actually in four languages, because in real life he also speaks a little bit of Italian, and he speaks a little bit of Italian in the movie. But he's very fluent in the movie and in real life in three languages. All right, German, French, and English. So in Inglorious Bastard, we see him acting. All right, very good acting and speaking those three languages, or three and a half, because he speaks a little bit in the movie of Italian. But acting and speaking those languages fluently and just transitioning between languages is just amazing. So this movie has intense moments and nerve-wracking situations. Having said all of that, Inglorious Bastards, it's a bingo. Well, I hope you got that reference. So again, Inglorious Bastards, I have it in number three. I have it in number three. Okay, so in number two, I have a classic movie. And I am talking about Pulp Fiction, which came out in 1994. I'm gonna let you know that for Pulp Fiction, I was late to the party. I mean, I didn't get to see that movie for the very first time, perhaps 10 or 15 years ago, give or take. The movie came out back in 1984, so I missed it in theaters. However, during the pandemic, my theater played the movie, so I was there that night. I was the only guy in the theater that night, and oh my goodness, I had a blast. Obviously, it wasn't my first time watching it, but my first time watching it in theaters, and I was by myself. So let me tell you, it's a huge difference when you watch a movie in theaters. When you watch it for the first time in theaters, even though you have seen that movie before, you watch it for the first time in theaters. Is a night and day difference. So yeah, I was by myself, and then when the screen goes black and then it says Pulp Fiction, and then plays the song, and then you see like the orange, yellowish font, or like the letters Pulp Fiction. I took a screenshot of that, and then I took another screenshot of the twist when they're dancing. I mean, that's a classic moment. So I was like, I'm like, I need to savor this moment. So I had to capture it in a photo. And if you follow me on Instagram, I posted some of that because I wanted to have some sort of a memory or a souvenir, so to speak, of that moment. Even though I watched that movie, like I said, probably for the first time in the last 10 or 15 years, even though I watched the movie so late, I was aware of the some of the pictures, okay, because that movie is a classic. So I was familiar with the two pictures of John Travolta, right, and Samuel L. Jackson. I was familiar with the Big Kahuna. I was familiar with the twist dance. I was very familiar with the poster because the poster for Pulp Fiction is one of the most popular posters according to a website that I'm familiar with. Is in the top 100 posters of cinema, and is also one of the posters that gets sold the most. Really love and appreciate the soundtrack for Pulp Fiction, and also is so pretty. It's pretty cool how those three different storylines kind of they seem to be different, but then they kind of connect. I mean, Pulp Fiction, I like it a lot, so I have it in number two. And now in number one, and probably you already know what I am going to say thanks to the process of elimination. So, in number one, I have the movie Kill Bill that came out in 2003 and 2004 because it's one movie divided in two volumes. But it's one movie. It was shot as one. Okay, so it's not like two movies. No, no, no. If you ask me which movie I like better, volume one or volume two, I am gonna tell you I like Kill Bill, and I like both the same because it's one movie divided in two parts. But one movie, one storyline. So Kill Bill is my favorite Tarantino movie and also is in my favorite movies of all time. Oh man, where do I begin? I love Kill Bill. It has a great and fantastic score, great and fantastic soundtrack, an amazing and beautiful cinematography and photography. In the movies you see color, you see black and white, you even see anime, right? You see anime in that movie. You see the backstory of every single assassin. It has an homage to the Japanese culture. It has an homage to the Chinese kung fu, right? It has an homage to those old kung fu movies from the 70s and 80s. It has an homage to Bruce Lee, like the bride is wearing that yellow suit that Bruce Lee wore in Game of Death. There's another homage to Bruce Lee with the Green Hornets theme, right? It has an homage to action. I like the fights. I like all the blood. I like the story. I like, oh my goodness, there's a lot of stuff that I like about Kill Bill, and that's why I have it in number one. So Kill Bill, a great revenge story, full with a lot of great writing, great action, the blood, the oh my god, I mean it has so much stuff that I would like to say, but I don't want to make this video even longer. But like I said, it has the entire package. So Kill Bill is in number one for me. So what about you guys? Please let me know down below. Where do you rank Tarantino's filmography? I would like to know which movies, which places you have it. So let me know down below in the comments. And as always, guys, thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for watching. And please don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And I am going to see you guys very soon in another video. And until then, choca la mano.